Is this the new world order, or are we facing a complete reset in the financial system? And is traditional finance or TradFi slowly but surely starting to turn into DeFi? My friends, are Wall Street moving into blockchain? Just kidding. I do know some of these answers, and I'm sure you do too, especially if you have already been subscribed to the Crypto Bliss community. And if you are not yet, go ahead and subscribe to the Crypto Bliss community. I am bringing you constant alpha, at least 2 to 3 times a week at the moment is what I can give this channel and this community, unless you obliterate some more likes on these videos and get these videos some more views. My friends, I do short videos for us because we don't need these long-winded videos. What we need to know is to understand and understand where we are right now in the market and how to position yourself based on what is currently going on, and most importantly, when in doubt, zoom out. And the point being is some of the information I'm going to share with you today is going to give you some real good perspective on what's busy going on and why everything that is happening is just noise. As ugly as the markets look right now, as ugly as things are right now, I believe we are primed for one of the biggest liquidity injections into the global or worldwide markets that has ever been seen. And if you are not positioned for the long-term outlook, because this has all shifted, the narrative has shifted. It is no longer only individuals like yourself and myself investing in crypto and blockchain and making these massive gains. We now have the institutions playing with us. And my friends, they're nibbling at blockchain. In fact, some of them are absolutely ripping blockchain. And if you go and look at exactly how much some of these institutions in my videos are actually, like Tom Lee and Strategy, are actually accumulating Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, my friends, I think you'd be a little bit afraid right now that you have not got any crypto. And if you have not got any crypto, make sure to use my Bybit link down below. Get yourself a $30,000 deposit bonus and come and trade with me. Buy some Bitcoin and store it on your hardware wallet. Down below in the description of this video is a awesome link for Ledger or some of the other cold storage wallets. Now, we'll touch base on this chart in a short moment. But for now, I want to bring us back to reality, because where we're at currently makes the most significant difference in where we're going in the future. So if we're having a look at the Bitcoin rainbow chart, as you can see, I have pulled this chart right up to 2035. Now, a lot of people are saying we're in a bear market. If you go and look at Twitter, all you can see everywhere has been absolute blood in the streets. We are in extreme fear territory over the last 2 or 3 weeks, my friends. And what that means for us right now is that is one of the most opportune moments to buy. Now, I want to warn you, the rainbow chart gives you an indication of what you need to do over the swing moments, the long-term swing moments. Now, remember, this is all of Bitcoin, right? The black line is all of Bitcoin. So if we have a look, the colorful boxes up here tell us what is going on. And usually the blue is all about the cheapest of cheap ass Bitcoin. It's still ridiculously cheap. You literally are getting like a 80-90% discount on Bitcoin. When it's up in the red, it means it's bubble territory. It means the bubble's going to pop any minute soon, any second soon. You need to get out, okay? And when I mean get out, I don't mean sell your Bitcoin. Do not sell your Bitcoin. Trump says to you, do never sell your Bitcoin. Strategy says they will never sell their Bitcoin, okay? And right now, as you know, Strategy's entry level on Bitcoin is 72K. And we're currently on about 88K. So we're still quite miles away. And even so, he will still continue to accumulate. So what on earth is stopping you from accumulating, my friend? Now, what I want to share with you here is when it reaches the bubble territory, we're not selling our Bitcoin. Cool, you can take some profits. Profits are healthy, right? Because essentially you don't want to ride from 20K all the way back down to 2 to 3K. But at the end of the day, when you sell there and it rallies back up from 3K up to 70K, you've 3x that peak there. So I continue to show you these mechanisms that ask you why you're going to do that, because every single peak was always higher than ever before. Now, the one thing I do want to point out to us, I believe we're doing something like this right now. I believe we're flushing the epic out of the liquidity. And by goodness me, I would be appreciative if we could collect Bitcoin down here, probably in the 50K region, somewhere here. But is that likely to happen? I'm not entirely sure. Doesn't mean it can't happen. But at the end of the day, right now, Bitcoin is on the edge of accumulate the Moses out of it, and it's still ridiculously cheap. So when the Bitcoin rainbow chart is telling us right now that you can accumulate Bitcoin for $88,000, and maybe by the end of the cycle, we could be up at $370,000, $380,000, because my friends, right now we're before December, and December is usually a month in Bitcoin that absolutely pumps like crazy. We are possibly expecting rate cuts to come in December, and that looks like money printing. Now, the trail that I'm about to lead you through, my friends, is going to share with you some of the most critical points. Be observant in this video, because you don't want to be missing out on where we're at right now. I currently believe that while we sit at pretty much these Pico all-time highs, we're just above that, my friends. What a time to accumulate this beautiful asset that has outperformed everything else in the world. Edward Snowden says gold is just Bitcoin that cannot be sent over the internet. Gold equals 28.2 trillion market cap. Bitcoin equals $1.7 trillion market cap. Bitcoin will flip gold one day. I'm in that camp too. I see it. And that means there's a 14x on Bitcoin right now. And if there's a 14x on Bitcoin right now, my friends, at 88,000, let's get our calculator out even for us. At 88,000 times 14 gives us $1.2 million Bitcoin. Where on this chart do we get to $1.2 million Bitcoin? Somewhere in this region. Somewhere in 2029. So you have to wait 3 years to go from 80,000 to possibly 1.2 million in 29. My friends, that is a buying opportunity of a lifetime. What else on earth is going to give you those returns by buying something, storing it in your cold storage wallet, and letting the value increase because the dollar is decreasing. It's relieving the dollar of pressure. And Trump talks about that very often. That is not for today's video. Probably nothing, right? But Bitcoin backed credit weekly income or credit weekly volume. It keeps going up. Massive here, my friends. And this is weekly. This has been this week. Okay. This is all STRC, STRK, STRF, STRD. Okay. Massive credit coming into STRC here, my friends. Massive. So when Trump says he is going to sign the reserve executive order today at 4 p.m. This will inject over 1 trillion into the market, which is mega bullish. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of noise going out there, lots of AI stuff, fake stuff, all kinds of things. We'll just have to wait and see, right? At the end of the day, all that matters is you're accumulating and DCAing, whether it's going up or down, you're DCAing on both directions. Very simple mechanism. Now, could this be the possibility for where we're at right now? Could we see? I honestly I see a pump incoming like this. I certainly do. And you can see that right here, right now, that it's starting the MACD. But I'm going to come back here just now. I am going to come back here just now. We will then sit and hover around in this zone somewhere here, and then make a massive candle breakthrough in this kind of wedge zone here. This is a megaphone pattern that's busy shaping out here. I like what Aurelian Ohayan has put out here. I really do think that that's great. And I would not be surprised on the back test and then the massive rally. My friends, this is saying by 2028-ish, odd, mid-2027. I don't know. He doesn't know. Nobody knows. But what we do know is that no matter what, whether it's going down 90% or down 35%, the fact is that you buy and you hold, and this thing goes up over and over and over and over again. The lows are getting higher, the highs are getting higher, and this thing is in a massively decade long-term upward trend. It cannot do anything else other than go up. Yes, fall down a little bit. That's moments to accumulate and to develop your wealth, my friends. Develop your wealth, protect and reserve your family's wealth. That is generational wealth you want to be able to pass down to your family that don't know, that don't understand, your future kids, your future grandchildren. You want to be able to give them a chance at this beautiful life to experience instead of having to work and hustle their time and their life away. You want to experience life, right? If you appreciate where that's coming from, obliterate that like button. Because New Zealand, just as I've just said, is going to be teaching crypto in schools. Digital currency will be added to the financial curriculum for years 1 to 10, starting from 26, with full mandatory rollout in 27. Why is that? Because there is massive crypto adoption busy happening. Imagine what is going to happen in the next decade in crypto and in blockchain. And that's why it doesn't matter. Even all the way up here in the far right corner in 2037 now, this beautiful thing extends to. In 2037, we're looking at a potential of a $4.6 million Bitcoin. My friends, $4.6 million Bitcoin divided by 88,000. That gives us a 52x gain on Bitcoin in the next 11 years. That's a 5x multiplier every year, basically. Compounding. I think you're starting to understand and get the point here. Why on earth would you not be investing in something as early as it still is today, even though we didn't get the opportunity to buy this beautiful asset? I mean, look at how low those prices are. 32 cents, 20 cents. Holy crap, moly moodle. Okay. Now, one thing I do want to point out to you is this is investors like yourselves and myself that nibble into this thing and push this thing up like this. This here is institutional buying. Slow grinding up. Small taking profit levels at psychological levels. Probably reallocation on the dip levels. I have no doubt that there has been reallocation on these dip levels. As you can start to see, that's coming in. Selling pressure is diminishing. I think you're starting to get the point, because President Trump expects a $20 trillion injection into the US economy in the next 38 days. My friends, that takes us to the end of the year, beginning of January. I don't think that all $20 trillion is going to inject into the market at one time. And if it did, yeah, my friends, that is going to be a very much a God candle on Bitcoin, probably into the $1 million zone, is all I can say. And that's a presumptuous mechanism. But if $20 trillion was about to be injected into the US economy, I have no doubt at least 30 to 50% of that is going to go into investing into blockchain, number one, Bitcoin mining, number two, and Bitcoin as a reserve, number three. Do not be blindsided by all of the rubbish and the noise, because we have found out exactly who has caused, who sold this candle right here, and who's sent the shockwave into the market to sell and continue to sell and cause this massive fear and extreme fear in the markets. And is it going to surprise you? Probably not. Is it going to make you emotional and angry and upset and want to lobby them and cause havoc for them? Probably. Are you going to do that? Unlikely. What is your best scenario to do? The only solution is to buy more while it's low, while it's cheap. Because while they sold up here, you have the opportunity to buy down here. This is one moment you need to be able to take advantage of. Because if there is an 80% chance of the Fed rate cut in December, you're going to want to be positioned right now. I have been buying and accumulating small quantities on spot. Unfortunately, I do believe we probably could get one more drop down, and we'll talk about that level in a moment. I don't think we're done. I think we're going to have a nice rally. I think we're going to have one more liquidity grab to the downside. But that doesn't matter when you have strategy still buying Bitcoin and he will not back down. Because if you back down to the institutions like I'm about to show you, you will be fear-mongered out of your Bitcoin and your crypto while they accumulate it under your feet at discounts, at negatives you sold your assets to them. So do not be fooled by these people, this individual developing huge number of users reportedly rushing to close accounts at JP after the bank's attack on strategy, its targeting of Bitcoiners, and its latest data leak. Actions have consequences, my friends. So be it. Who on earth wants to stay with this person and this bank when actually the banksters can do whatever they want to you and your money? They can close your accounts, they can steal, squander, they can do whatever they want. Are you going to sit there, or are you going to take charge of yourself right here, right now? Use my links down in the description of this video. Make sure to obliterate the like button on the Crypto Bliss community. I do appreciate you being here, absolutely, because I'm bringing to you the best possible news I can share with you, always. Not always real, not always alive, but certainly as much and as best news as possible. Now, my friends, if you have a look here, Bitcoin has completed a 36% correction. MACD is now 5-year low. The last time we saw this, we had a 119% pump. This is where reversals are born. Do not blink and do not miss this opportunity. Have a look at this. Now, I just want to point out one last thing to you. Okay. This is a bear market. 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 And this is not a bear market. This little blip here, okay, is not a bear market. You can see what bear markets do. But what I can say is that along the journey, you do get pullbacks of minus 30 to 50% along the journey. Again, minus 30 to 50%. Again, it happens, my friends. Don't sell your Bitcoin to the likes of that man and his cronies, the banksters. We literally are at the lowest point we are on the MACD that we have been all the way, not even those two, all the way back since 23rd of May 2021. That is when we hit the lowest point on the MACD. We have not been this low ever since. And my friends, when we hit that low on the MACD, look at what happened. Cool, we sat and we still had, let's measure this out for each other. Right? From that day, let's take it from the average. We still had a little bit of a pullback. We still had a 23% pullback from that day scenario. But once we had completed that pullback, okay, you have a look at that bottom level all the way to the top, and we had 134% move to the top side. Now, what would that 134% move to the top side look like from where we're at the moment? Okay, well, let's go and have a look. If we were to have from the bottom there, 134% move to the upside, that takes us up to $190,000, my friends. That's a good move for us in Bitcoin right now. Why would you not be positioning at this time? I would be patient. Honestly, I still see us. Potentially, we didn't quite hit my blue level, just by the way. Have a look at, well, we did, actually, excuse me. We hit my blue level to the T, which I have been speaking about on this video and this video and this video for a couple moments. So go check those videos out. I'll leave them pinned in the cards because of this area. Now, I do need to make this area significantly aware. I would say that this is potentially the zone that we could come to right here on the next move down, which means that we could come down to potentially anywhere between 70 and 67,000, which is actually the previous all-time high, as you can see from that zone right there. Now, what significance does that have to play? It does, because that gives us a massive level of support where we tried to tap up once, twice. I mean, how many times did we try to tap through this level? Here, we just had a strong buying opportunity at this zone, is all I can say. I mean, look at the MACD. Yes, it was a bit oversold, and it told us we needed to go up. But honestly, I think we could pull back up. You can see this trend line here that I've drawn for us. I believe we could wrap up right into even possibly the 618 zone, which takes us kind of back into this high zone, but knocks us around at all of the resistance up here in this zone, as you can see up there. And that is at the 618, which is at about 106,667. Ironically, that's not 6666 for some odd reason. Because that man represents that scenario and picture. That's judgment. I'm not meant to be judging, right? So I think we could reach that zone. And why is that? Because there's a level here. You can see that candle, it leveled. You can see these candles, it leveled. There's a strong level right here. Okay, that is telling us that that's the zone Bitcoin is likely going to pull into. Okay, which ironically reaches the upward trend zone. It reaches the down sloping trend zone. And on a cleaner chart, you can see where it gets us to right up here, my friends. I don't know if this is coincidence or what, but I think we could hit this resistance at 100K at this point. I mean, even down here is now resistance here at 96K all the way down to 92. That is now resistance above us, above head. So the only thing that I can tell you is that dumps means buy where you believe we're bottoming out. 36%. Buy on those bottoms. No financial advice. But when Mr. Plan B, also his view has not changed since 2019. BTC market cap was at 100 billion. We're now at 1.7 trillion. That was at 5K BTC. This chart said it would grow to 1 trillion in 2020 halving period, blue narrow. Okay. The same chart shows 10 trillion market cap, 500K B for BTC for 2028, which is the red arrow somewhere about up there, which is still his view. And honestly, everything that I've just shown you in the Bitcoin rainbow chart, as we've seen, starts to lead towards that area. So if we're looking at 2028, that's the next potential halving level. There you go. It's $567,000 to $750,000 Bitcoin. Now, I do want to share these last two videos with you because the guy who posted this doesn't miss. I think you get the point. We're at the strongest place today, not looking back, today, that you can possibly invest into Bitcoin. No financial advice, but come on, my friends. When all the signals are telling us we've kind of reached a bottoming out level, why would you not nibble and buy some of this into your spot? I've been buying some into my spot. Even though I think it's going to go a little bit lower, I've still been buying some and adding to my spot bags. My friends, I'm going to leave you with this video from Mr. Raoul Pal. He said that we were in an elongated business debt cycle, and that Bitcoin would climb higher. Then we would see a 35% drawdown, and everyone will be sure that it's over, and it won't be over. You need to watch this again and again and again. I'm going to leave you with this video right here, right now. But before I do, make sure you are subscribed to the Crypto Bliss community. Share this with your friends and family because they need to know more about where we're at, and this is the time to be accumulating. And of course, please go ahead and obliterate that like button. I'd love to see 33 likes on this video. That would be much appreciated. For now, much love, and we will see you on the next one, my friend. Take care and have a lovely weekend, a week ahead.
3. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing. Each cycle is not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1. The corrective zone, banana number 2 comes. Another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats. Don't fuck this up. Don't lose control of your tokens. Don't use leverage. Don't get your wallet hacked. Just sit with it. Be careful. Don't get FOMO. Do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of the correction zone. That's going to be harder because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.